I feel like I must be taking crazy pills as we sit here year after year annotating that U.S. military pay is down the drain, and then we wonder why recruiting is crap. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that the number that's being paid to military members is less in comparison to civilian and also inflation rates. It is basic mathematical understanding that for some reason, congressional beings out there don't understand as it comes down to the budget for the Department of Defense. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, but the prompt from this Navy Times or Military Times article is prompting this because they're talking about an increase of this. Dramatic changes in military pay to be focus of new study. Go figure. Military members want more money? Oh man, didn't know that. Oh man, and we're paying lots of people for these studies. Lots of people. Millions of dollars, I'm sure. Says lawmakers want Pentagon leaders to launch a full review of military basic pay to see if troop salaries high enough to keep up with the needs of military families and whether the current pay tables need to be overhauled. I have said this before and I'll say it again, dying on my hill to every single person out there. Go to apartments.com, look at how much the basic rate for a one-bedroom apartment is versus what you're paying them for a housing allowance stipend, and I will tell you, it is not enough. It doesn't take any bit of fanciness here, but I'm blowing my brains here because I'm so pissed off as we keep talking about this month after month after month. Jesus! The idea is included as part of the Compromise Defense Authorization Bill unveiled by House and Senate leaders Tuesday night. The sweeping military budget policy legislation includes plans for $817 billion Defense Department spending of fiscal 2023 and a 4.6% pay raise for troops in January, the largest in 20 years. Okay? The largest in 20 years. Oh, I'm supposed to be so excited about the largest pay raise that's ever occurred in 20 years. Do you remember what happened in 20 years? We went to Afghanistan, we went to Iraq, we've been to all these places, people are pulled out and all the craziness happened. And now look, we can't retain anybody, we can't recruit anybody, and it's like we're fucking taking crazy pills. It really is. Look, I'm not even going to baffle this. Look, the basic U.S. inflation rate for this, we've all agreed it's been over 5%, right? And they're talking about a 4.6, 7.7% for 2022. Like, this is not rocket science, guys. Well, why do I feel like we are just reactive and wondering why this is the case? I'm going to go back to the article. It says here, it continues to say, but while the pay raise will put more money in all troops' wallets in coming months, the pay review could lead to dramatic changes in what service members are earning in coming years. Lawmakers have been focused on the idea of military pay over the last year's inflation costs have risen, thankfully, and recruiting efforts have lagged. Defense Department leaders have lamented that their ability to bring and retain individuals with in-demand skills has been hampered by the inflexibility of military personnel rules. It says the new pay study to be conducted by an outside research group, again, that's a contract someone has gotten that's going to study this, pay me the millions of dollars, is designed to provide answers to some of those problems. Now, I know this is not the best, resource, but look at this. This is just Wikipedia showing the difference between you have military pay raise percent, average private sector raise. Let's see if any of the time that military matches. Okay, 81 it did, 14.3 higher, right? And then you look down, we're going through this, and it's pretty much never higher for the next 20 years. And then you see this crazy chart right here. And mind, let's look here. From 2001 to 2021, it is stagnant. And that is during the entire time a war is happening. Insanity. But you know who made money? A lot of contractors and things like that. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And it even shows that these numbers are rising. So this my friends, is not rocket science. And it says the authorization bill calls for researchers to look into quotation whether to update the current military pay model to meet the needs of the 2023 employment market, and an assessment of whether to modify current basic tables to consider higher rates of pay for specialties in critical need of personnel. And I laugh at this because I say, we've talked about new recruits getting $50,000 to join, which if you calculate, and I have already, you're looking at $50,000, okay, bam. Then you divide that over 4 years. Say they only do a 4-year enlistment. I doubt that's going to be for this, but just being the best case scenario, that's $12,500 per year. And then you do that divided by 25-ish, because there's 52 weeks in a year, but you're trying to get a paycheck every 2 weeks, so it's about $500 a paycheck. Now, let's start peeling that back. On top of that, you have taxes being taken out. And I look at it, I'm like, this is the pay that should be being put towards people in the military. But it looks fancy to say we're saving money, that the budget is lower, or it's not as high as people thought it would be. It says military pay is currently based wholly on an individual rank and time in service. Military leaders have emphasized that it is not only one part of the range of compensation for troops, including housing stipends, healthcare coverage, and future veteran benefits. And I'll tell you this, no one cares about these non-liquidated pay things anymore. I feel like people are like, if you're trying to make healthcare this, generalized thing that everyone has access to, how much more benefit are we getting? How watered down is benefit that's being talked about. And it says a junior enlisted service member who with 2 years service makes $22,000 a year in base pay, regardless of their job responsibilities. An officer with 10 years of service makes about $95,000. And I'm going to go on a limb and a very hot take on this and say, we should, when you knock over cards, you mix them up, whatever, the dominoes, whatever you want to say, we need to do that with the military rank structure. We need to mix it up. And I think that this system is outdated and we're trying to build the plane as we're flying it, and it's just not going to work. Because what we're seeing is there are some enlisted jobs that do have a benefit to them that might be more technical, that we are looking to get skills in, such as intelligence and things like that. Then you look at officers where you could have an arts degree and become a surface warfare officer. And then it's like, well, do they really get more pay? We don't really understand how these lay out, and it's like we've just let this thing perpetuate into the point where in general we can all agree military members are not getting paid what they should. Troops can earn extra money through recruitment bonuses and specialty pay for certain jobs. That is true, but Pentagon leaders have long debated whether those kinds of incentives should be included as part of the base pay standard for certain skills rather than income add-ons. And I will say, you only get that extra pay while you're actively doing the job. So it should be, we are contributing or elevating people for longevity to continue to keep doing this hard job and to continue to keep going down that path, because they will make rank, which will impact their retirement and have more money at the end of the day. These short-term little bursts don't really work. We've seen that. In addition, military pay rates are currently based on level equally through 70% of what comparable civilians earn. We'll see about that $22,000 for the person coming in. That number has fluctuated over the years as annual pay raises have exceeded or fallen short of civilian raises. I showed you for 20 years it has been below. And again, they wonder why people are frustrated with wanting to come to the military when it's very blatantly obvious. You don't need higher than a 10 ASVAB, if you've watched a recent video, to know that. It says congressionally mandated study will also look into whether the 70% mark is still adequate for recruiting and retention purposes. Oh, man. And whether the employment cost index, a measure of growth in the private sector wages, should still serve as the military basis for military pay calculations. Oh, man. What benefits? What benefits are people talking about? They're not there. They're not. I'm at the point now, I don't even want to cover anything else from this story, but it is insanity to me that there are people that are, questioning how military pay is at the forefront of an issue when finally the pipe is not being filled with people wanting to come in. And now they're like, oh my God, we cut down retirement? No longer 20 years? No one has incentive to join anymore? Yeah, Bob from freaking Arkansas, of course. You guys voted on it. And then I would say constituents did, but I don't know. The system's broken. That's what I've gotten out of this, and we are all taking crazy pills, and the military people are the ones that are suffering from this, and this is what's going to continue on until something finally changes where someone has some common sense or finally some bipartisanship can actually take place where the terms take care of your troops actually mean something. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and if you are as insane as I am about this topic and what you think about it, because I obviously must be an idiot that just sees numbers and I don't really comprehend them. I'm just kidding. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. If you guys like videos like this, hit me up over on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.